Okay, welcome to my first free training inside our little massage therapist of Oklahoma group. I want to do these more often because it's just needed and I like to talk. Um, so I'm Lindsay Juarez. I'm a massage educator. I own Mindful Massage Academy, which just had our first year last year. We're about to start our second group of massage students. This year, I'm also pushing out into supporting current massage therapists, so you guys, with business, getting your business to align and feel more like the supportive business that you dreamed of when you were in massage school. Okay, so for today, I want to take you through what I call my energy wheel training. And it's just a really, I like it. It's a really nice, simple, and visual way to see kind of where you're putting your energy. If you think of your energy like there's these categories in your life that you put your energy into these buckets. Burnout can happen when we're putting too much energy into one bucket at the expense of another bucket. And when you're in it, and when you're in the chaos, it can be really hard to get clear about that. And so this exercise just is a really great way to help you get clear. So I'm going to talk for a little bit, and if you would like to do this with me, I highly encourage you, grab a piece of paper and a marker or a pencil or a pen, scrap of paper. It doesn't have to be that crazy, right? Just grab some sort of piece of paper and a pen, and we're going to do this exercise together. So this is supposed to feel gentle and not overwhelming. So the minute in your body, I want you to like stay kind of in tune with what you're feeling at every moment, and to see, just use that as information. So if it starts to feel overwhelming at a certain point, maybe just make a mark like, oh, it was really overwhelming to think about this category. I should go like explore and journal more about that later. But if it starts to feel overwhelming, you can just pause writing. You can just listen to me talk. You can come back to this later. This is not about fixing anything. And this is not about an idealized version of yourself. We're trying to take a snapshot of right now, in this moment, how you're feeling. It's information, and as best you can, I want you to try to divorce judgment from it. That this is just how things are. We have to get clear so that we can know the path out of it, or to make it better, right? So think about, again, your body and your nervous system are your data sources for these. Okay, so this is a visual way to check in and to see what areas of your life are feeling overwhelmed. Like, we're just basically a temperature check is what I like to think of it as. Like, let's just see where the temperature is, right? You temperature check your turkey. tells you how much longer you need to cook it. It doesn't tell you that the turkey's bad and throw it all out. Okay, so you got your piece of paper. Hope that gave you enough time. Piece of paper and a marker. You're gonna draw a big circle. Easy, right? Big circle. All right, and then we are going to draw, we're gonna cut that pizza pie into different slices. And let me count, I think it's 8. Yeah, 8. So, and this is my very pretty pizza pie wheel. So just cut it and make it into like 8 little pies. And this, you could do yours a little bit more even than mine. This is already looking a little. Each little pie slice gets a category name. All right, so around the circle, we're gonna write these things. Physical, physical, emotional, mental. This is probably backwards. Sorry, guys. Remember, drop any questions if you have them along the way. I can see my comments over here. Woo. If I stay on the same page. Mental, social. And I will explain more about each category, so if it doesn't make sense, that's okay. Spiritual. Creative. Environment. I abbreviated mine. And finances. Okay, so you're going to have each of those categories all along the outside of your circle. Okay, so those categories again are physical, emotional, mental, social, spiritual, creative, environment, and finances. So we're going to go through and I'm going to talk a little bit about each of these categories, and what we're going to do is you're going to rank yourself. How do you feel about this category in your life right now? The center of the wheel is 0. The outside of the wheel is 10. And this, again, it's your own personal judgment. So if you're starting to think, well, what, based on what, and how do I logic that out, right? I want you to, again, take a breath, tune back into your body, and let your body and your nervous system answer this for you. Something that I'm really good at is over intellectualizing myself out of problems in my life. Meaning if something feels incongruent, if something feels like it's like a mismatch, then I'm really good at, oh, you shouldn't feel that way because of this, this, this. Or, well, yeah, but look at all this other stuff in your life, right? You shouldn't feel bad about this. Again, this is information. We're taking a temperature check. We are not casting any sort of judgment on any of this. We just want to see how you're feeling in your life right now. Okay, let's start with physical, because that's easiest, I guess, and usually the one everyone's thinking about starting January. They're like, oh, I need to get healthier, or I need to start moving more, right? So physical, how would you rate your physical? Physical is not just eating nutritious food and exercise, moving your body in a prescribed way of exercise, like running, yoga, weightlifting. Physical, because it can't be that, because not everybody has the ability to do those exercises, right? So we have to, I always say, like, one of my old teachers said, if it's not for everybody, then the definition needs to be expanded. So when we think about physical, I want you to think about, yes, are there areas in my nutrition that could be better? Or like maybe you're thinking, man, I've just been killing it in the nutrition department, right? Physical, have you been moving your body in ways that feel good? Have you been resting? Resting is part of physical. So have you been resting enough? Right? So 0 to 10, I'm going to do this with you, and I'm going to show you mine so you don't have to feel embarrassed about any of it. And I'm going to be honest, I promise. Physical. this year I've been pretty decent, actually. I'm going to say like a 7-ish, 8 for me. And I'm going to fill in my little pie. You don't have to, but I think it looks easier when I fill it in. So there's my physical. Physical for me about 8. And so for me, I'm thinking, I've been trading with a personal trainer. So I see her once a week. She comes and gets a massage from me once a month. So I've been doing that. I've been like decent on nutrition, and I've have a history of an eating disorder. So like that considered, I've been doing pretty good. I've been stretching a lot more. I should be getting more massages. Classic massage therapist. Okay, so physical, that's usually like fairly easy, right? Let's hop into emotional. So emotional, you can think about how your relationships with your feelings and with your emotions. So do you find yourself becoming emotionally overwhelmed a lot, or snapping with people? That's one of my clues that like my emotional regulation is not great, is when I start snapping at my family. Have you been in therapy? Have you been do you feel comfortable with your feelings, with your emotions, with expressing your emotions, right? So that goes into emotional. I promise my other ones aren't going to be great. But I feel pretty great I feel pretty great in emotional this year. Me and my partner have been able to communicate a lot better. I've been doing like self-work around like my worth and how I show up in the world. So I've been doing pretty good emotional. So there's my emotional. There's my emotional wheel. For right now, this is how you feel right now, Gabby. So it doesn't have to really be, I'm saying a lot of things of like, this is how my last year has been, but that's because it's informing how I feel right now. I'm just giving myself reasons of why I feel the way I feel right now. But just, right now in this moment, because, things can change week to week even. So just, try not to overthink it. Just give it a general guidance number. Okay, mental. Mental's different from emotional. And mental, I want you to think more about how have you been stimulating yourself mentally? Are you learning new things? Are you engaging in new concepts and ideas? Are you growing in the way that you think? Learning new communication styles, going to continuing education classes, right? All of that's in the mental, reading books. So how have you been doing mentally lately? I'm trying to think about mine. How have I been doing mentally? I'm feeling decent. I should probably be learning more. I'm going to put it like 6-ish. I've been reading a lot of books. I'm normally like a nonfiction girly, and so I have to force myself to read fiction, but now I'm in that phase where I feel like adverse to fiction or nonfiction. I don't know, the world feels a little too real sometimes. So so there's my mental. It's a little lower. Yeah, you see it's starting to fill out. Social, how have you been engaging in your social network? So spending time with friends, connecting with people on a level that feels fulfilling and supportive. So this is, do you have a supportive network of people that you can rely on? Do you, regularly check in with friends, networking with colleagues? So, and this isn't an introvert extrovert thing. The difference between introverts and extroverts are just how they get fulfilled. So extroverts, they need social engagement because that gives them energy, and introverts need alone time because that gives them energy. But both types need social interaction. Like, as humans, we are social beings. So you need social. But again, it's like, what is yours? So like an extrovert may, when they're evaluating this, be thinking that they personally need more than they're getting. Whereas like an introvert's going to think, yeah, I have 3 friends. I'm doing great. Like, truthfully, I'm an introvert, so that's how I feel. Socially, I'm going to put it like a 5 for me. I've been very like hermity for the last couple months and like homebody. And I could be spending more time with friends, or maybe, I don't know. Again, this is just, it gets you starting to think about like, oh, is this maybe where I'm feeling drained or off? Okay. Spiritual. Spiritual does not mean church. It can be for you, depends on your own personal values, right? But spiritual just means a connection to something outside of yourself. So how are you connecting to a power, the universe, the chaotic nature of life? How are you connecting with that? So like, if you think of deism, right? Are you connecting with God? Are you praying? Are you engaging in your religious rituals that help you? If you're non-deist, are you meditating? Are you spending time thinking about, just thinking through those things? So like, yeah, meditation, whatever your own personal practices are, right? Like, this is a very not one size fits all category for sure. But that's how I classify it, is connection to something outside of yourself, something greater than yourself. How are you feeling in your relationship with that? All right. I'm going 7. All right. Creative. So I believe that we all need to be making time where we can do something creative. I read this article that was talking specifically about neurodivergent people, but I think it applies to everybody. That's said, like, basically the left side of your brain's the logical, linear, step-by-step part, right? The right side's all about making connections and bigger picture. And if we spend a lot of time processing through the left side of our brain, then we're missing out on the connections and the greater integration that the right side of our brain and our body can provide us. So thinking about being creative as the way that your body processes the information that it's taking from the world every day. My dogs are going to bark here in a second, so I'm so sorry. Just my one stupid dog. She's coming to tell me about it. I think we're okay. Okay, so creativity. Yeah, so basically, when you're being creative, when you're doing something artistic or something that's, turning off that logical side of your brain, then your body is able to process that information, and it's necessary. It's necessary. So it doesn't have to be like painting a picture, right? It can be engaging in a hobby. It can be baking. It can be gardening. It can be dancing. Like there's listening to music. It can be a lot of different things. Whatever fills your creative heart. They're mad that the dogs next door are outside and that they're not outside. But they act like fools, so they don't get to be outside. Creative. I was pretty good creative this year. I was pretty good. I've been pretty decent. Creativity. I crocheted a crap ton of things for Christmas, and that really, really helped with all of the holiday stress. Helped me stay focused. 2 more, and then we get to like what all this means. Okay, environment. So whereas spiritual, I define as a relationship with something outside of you. Environment, I define as a relationship with the physical things around you, like your literal environment, your literal space. So it could be your home. It could be environment is also like societally, like your connection to the community, your connection to like the physical location that you're in. Community is really important. We're social people, and so it's not like you have to be best friends with your neighbors. But this idea of like being a part of the community and investing in the community around you, whether that be through time, picking up trash in your neighborhood, going to a national park, going to a walking park around town, hanging out at Lake Hefner, right? And like engaging with your environment, with the earth, with the land. Hey, Megan. You hear like scrambling. They're just playing. My dogs are just playing now. So, environment. Ugh, I was not great at this one this year, or at this time in this moment. I'm gonna do like a 5. And I've done this lots of times, and I'll tell you, every time I do this, each category is different. Like it's always different, just depending on where I am in my life. Environment. Okay, and finances. Everybody's favorite. So, how are you feeling about your finances in this moment right now? What feels stressful? What feels supportive? Right? Where would you rank yourself on how you feel about your finances? So this doesn't have to be just like how much money you have. It can also be like, how are you budgeting? What is your system for your finances? Does that feel sustainable? Does that feel safe? So finances for me, I'm gonna put it at a 5 again. It's probably gonna be like a 5.5, but all right. Then you have your wheel. So you zoom back and you look at this like a wheel. And if this was the wheel on your car, would you drive it? No, right? When you zoom out and stop kind of looking at the individual categories and look at this as more of a snapshot of your energy distribution in this moment at this time. it can give you a lot of information. So let's talk about remember real quick, I want to touch on the low area numbers. And again, we're suspending judgment. So instead of judging these categories as bad or not good enough, we're going to take a step back, because that's where our brain wants to go, right? Like, I'm not good enough in this area. I'm not working hard enough in this area. And you start to think, and instead of, what happens is you start to try to pour energy into these that you don't have, that is being taken up maybe by other areas. And when you do that, you cause burnout. So trying to put more energy into something, trying to pour from a cup that's empty, that's almost empty, that's how you cause burnout. So we're going to stop for a second. Instead of instantly going to fix, we're going to stop, get clear, get information, and then we can move forward. So thinking about these low areas, instead of thinking of them as a project, I want you to think of them as a request. A request from your body and your nervous system for more support. There is something in these categories that you ranked low that is telling you that you need more support in these areas. It's not telling you that you need to work harder. It's not telling you to hustle more. And it's not telling you to find the energy, right? Or that you're a bad person because you don't automatically have it figured out. Oh, my dog's chewing on. It doesn't look bad. These are requests. It's a request from your body for more support. So your nervous system is always working to try to survive and adapt. And your nervous system takes that clue from you. You are the driver. It responds to your direction. So whether you knew it or not, whether you're conscious or not, you have been telling your nervous system, your body, that we need more in these areas. I can't do this. Trying to look at the camera. You're telling your body that these are more important than these. That the higher numbers are the more important parts of your life than the lower numbers. That's what you've been telling your body. Whether you know it or not, that's just how your energy has shaped out, right? And it's because of a drive from you to do that. And it's usually based on your values, but also your fears and your insecurities and all of that stuff, right? And that's all fine. That's all normal. And it's all welcome. And it's all it just happens. And this is life. Life isn't that you're ever going to be we're just never going to be aware of everything ever. It's really important to take time to get clear, to do exercises like these so that you can pull yourself out of your everyday. Get aware, get clear, so that you can maybe start to make a different choice, or at least to be aware of your choices. Okay, so how do you use this to talk about goal setting? I hate goal setting. I'm just going to be really honest. I've been trying for, years to come up with a supportive way to talk about setting goals. And I love when other people do it. Maybe I think it's just not my skill set. What am I trying to say? So personally with goals, I tend to get in a little demand avoidance with them, I think, when I set a goal. And this is also part of it. I'm a self-sabotager. I like to set goals that probably are too far out of my reach, probably too far out of my energy, what I have to offer. And then I make a goal that's maybe a little too lofty, a little too, stretches me a little too much. And my demand avoidance is like, nope, I'm never going to do that. You can't make me. That just, it doesn't happen. And I forget about it, or I just logic myself out of it, right? So how I do goal setting is, I really don't even do goal setting because I try to stay really present in the moment. I do more like adjusting. Like, where can we just tweak this part a little bit? Or I like goals around like moving towards something, or like a project or a launch, or like having an idea in your business for like what sounds good for this kind of year-end thing. But as far as like personal goals, they always have felt too restrictive for me. I don't know what this. So if you resonate with that, let me know. But here's really more how I look at it. And I love using this. So when you look at this chart, when you look at your own personal wheel, I want you to look through all of the categories. And you can do this with all of the categories on your own time. But for right now, for today, or for like sometime today, tomorrow, this weekend, I want you to sit and pick one of your lower categories. One of your lower categories. And I want you to spend some time, you can journal, or you can just sit and think and ask, what would it look like in my life for me to rate that a 10? What would have to be happening in my life for me to rank that at a 10? Ten doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, and I want to emphasize, it's not somebody else's definition of 10. It's what feels like a 10 in your body. So for you, a 10 might not be that you need to do more things. A 10 might be that you need to do less things. Maybe in physical, let's say physical, you're at like a 7. I'm at like a 7. And for it to feel a 10, right, I can say, well, I should be working out 3 times a week, and I should be even better with my nutrition, right? I could do that. Or I could say, maybe I need to rest more. Actually, I've been tired a lot lately. Maybe I just need to rest more. Maybe I need to find different ways to move that feel more supportive to my nervous system. Maybe I should do like yin yoga. Like, right? Like, it doesn't have to be what maybe somebody else's definition of a 10 would be. Maybe somebody else's definition of a 10 in physical is, I'm back to running 3 miles every day, right? That's not me. Couldn't be me. I was a runner for a long time. But I know like lots of people, that's their mental health too, right? So 10 can be just simpler. Right? I just want this area to feel simpler. Maybe it's in your, maybe your finances feel like a 5, but it's because you don't have a budget, or you don't have a system in place. And so it's less about needing to do something else and more about finding the supportive structure that system needs. All right, so I want you to think about that, and I want you to write 2 to 3 little things that can fill up your cup in that category. And I like to do this with every category, because eventually then you'll have like kind of a menu of things to pull from when you're starting to feel lower in one area. And it's really great to have that already written out when you're feeling safe and regulated, because, you know, when my emotional piece starts to feel out of whack, I probably don't have the mental space to be creative or to think about the things that I need to do to get this like back to good, right? So it's really great. I'd love for you to take time and really write 2 to 3 things for each category. But the only thing I'm asking for today, tomorrow, this weekend, one category, write 2 to 3 things that could just move the dial a little bit. So you're going to sit and you're going to think about, what would this look like if I'm at a 10? And then I want you to think about, what do I need to do to bump this up one number? So if your social's at a 5, what do I need to do to just make that a 6? Right? Probably nothing like huge. Probably something really small. Maybe a lunch with a friend, right? Maybe you just a phone call to somebody you have, like a friend you haven't connected with in a couple weeks. All right, so a couple of ideas, and if you have ideas, or if you're thinking about stuff, something came to you, I want you to drop it in the comments, because the more ideas we have, somebody's going to think of something that you haven't thought of, and you're going to think of something that somebody else needs. So if you're having things like ideas come to you, like, oh, for environment, I can do this. For mental, I can, I'm going to pick up a book from the library, right? So easy. So if your physical is low, things you can think about are looking at your schedule, making sure that you have enough time for rest or for movement. So they love to wrestle. Sorry. So do you have time to go take a 5-minute walk? You know, if you want to improve your physical, excuse me, I got to shift. If you want to improve your physical, maybe you have time for a 5-minute walk. Maybe you can just add more veggies to your plate next time, right? Maybe you can set a timer for 5-10 minutes before bed and stretch. Really little things. If finances feel low, then maybe it's time to look at your pricing and review your personal and business budget to make sure that everything is supportive there, or that you have the right systems in place to support you there. If your social feels low, join a community, ask for help. Hop on our coffee and chat next week, and get your social cup filled a little bit. Okay, so I want to wrap this up with a couple of ideas for you to think about. Remember, this should the whole time you're doing this and thinking about this, we are paying attention to what our nervous system is doing. When something pulls up an emotion in you, that's an invitation to ask why, to get even more clear about what's going on. These goals, which it doesn't even feel like a goal, right? It's just like 2 little tasks that I'm going to try to do to fill up my bucket, right? But they should feel stabilizing. They should not feel activating. So it shouldn't feel like undue pressure or a demand. It should feel like easy, like it's good, like it's growth, right? So the best goals are always the ones that your nervous system can sustain. And everybody's freaking dogs. Everybody's nervous system is different. So what works for one person is not going to work for the next person. And everybody's nervous system is different day to day. So what worked for you 2 weeks ago may not be what you need today, which is why it's good to have 2 to 3 ideas in each category. Because you might be like, oh, my mental's kind of suffering. I don't really feel like reading a book right now. What else can I do, right? Like, it's good to have a couple of ideas. So I hope that you enjoyed, now that my dogs are really going at it. I hope that you enjoyed this training. I would love to hear about, let's see, I want to see if there's any great ideas here. All right, so Gabby said, for finances, I used to carry a little case with dividers, Jesus Christ, dogs, and would take out cash I needed for the week instead of just using a card. I would use that cash for food, kept me in budget. Even dropping. Yeah, so having a cash, having a like envelope system, like to where I don't want to overspend, so I'm gonna do this, gonna actually take it out of my responsibility, right? Until I only use cash for this, only use a card for these other things. That can be a great system to help support you in your goal of not overspending. There we go. Beautiful. All right, yeah. If you have anything else, drop them in here. This will be up. So even if you watch this after, I want you to drop all of your tips in there, because we are better together. Not one person can do all of it. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed this. And what we did today is actually one of the first exercises that's included in my Aligned Massage Business Foundations program. This is a 6-week business program that I'm launching in the next few weeks to waitlisters only. So I will drop the waitlist link in the comments if you want to hop on that. So in Align, we start with the awareness and capacity and nervous system support. It's not hustle or pressure. We go from the personal, the clarity, the emotional work, and then we move into how can we build a business around that fits your energy and your life. So we work around boundaries, pricing, mission statement, bio, social media marketing, and sustainability, all to help all of this stuff, this massage business stuff, actually feel good and not like the dreaded part of being a massage therapist. This work is not meant to be done alone. It's meant to be done in community. So if any of this training or anything I've said resonated with you, let me know. I would love to have you go through the program. So again, thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening to me and engaging in this work. The engaging in the work is the hardest part, making yourself do it. And you did it. I want you to take a moment after we get off live today, after you stop the video, and close your eyes, take some deep breaths, check in with your body and see how you're feeling. Really just tune back in and drop comments, questions. Shoot me a message if you want some personal one-on-one help with any of this. I would love to chat with you. And I want to just leave you with the idea. Remember, we're talking about energy here. Your energy is your wisdom. Where you put your energy is a reflection of your values and your personal, authentic soul. You don't need to override it. You just need to learn how to listen to it and how to work with it. So, thanks, guys.